Greetings, and today I have another deck video for you guys. So this will be the Mourntart Monsters deck that I am running. So I know I don't play ranked with these kinds of decks because honestly, like, if you've seen enough of my videos and enough of the kinds of decks that I run, you'll know exactly why I wouldn't put them in ranked. Of course, I could try and tweak them to see if I can put them into a ranked situation. Maybe I'll do that in the future, maybe for future videos, or maybe for future updates if some of these cards get boosts. Then possibly I'll do that. Maybe I'll do them before the season ends, I don't know. But for now, my whole goal is just to play around with decks in Gwent and just have fun with it. And I do play unranked, of course, because sometimes you do come across decks that are... very unorthodox, very out there. And sometimes they can serve as inspiration for me for future decks that I would like to make for videos. Honestly, if I just cover meta decks, like, it's not that I'm not gonna have fun with it, but I feel like it's just something that's already been done by so many other channels. Decks like these could also be done by other channels, but not by as much as meta decks, because I feel like meta decks are easily covered, and it definitely more people would like to see those, because obviously a lot of them would want to go into, you know, into the pro ladder and such. But you know, I just like to have fun with these decks in Gwent, and hopefully as more expansions come out and the more kinds of possibilities, the more memes, the more fun that we can have with decks, hopefully it expands. But for now, this is what we'll be rocking with. I do play ranked games off stream. I do play ranked games whenever I stream or whenever I'm not recording. And then maybe I'll just share them on Twitter. Oh, by the way, you guys should be following me on my Twitter, because I do sometimes give previews of, like, I do give previews of these videos before they come out. So if you guys want to check out sort of what deck is coming up next, then you guys should go check out my Twitter so you guys have an idea. Sometimes I'll do a video, sometimes I'll do a screenshot, sometimes I might even do a subtweet, you know, just referencing a card. So yeah, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. So this is the Morentart deck. The idea behind this is I want to be able to spawn, or to get as many units as I can onto the field before Morentart comes out and does its thing. So as you can see, a lot of these cards here either rely on spawning or coming out from the deck. Oh yeah, so it's either something coming out of the deck or spawning. Honestly, there are just so many ways to run this deck. Because honestly, if anything, I would call this the greedy Morentart deck, because I'm trying to get as many of my units out as possible. Like, if you wanted to add cards such as, you know, the Weavis Incantation, so you can consume and draw, while at the same time adding more power onto your side of the field, then that's definitely a possibility you could definitely do. Other possibilities is, if you want to be really greedy, you could even try to run a swarm deck and just sneak in a Spring Equinox, just to purify all those rats and spiders. If you really want to get creepy with that, not creepy, crazy with that, wrong word, then you can definitely do that. I don't know, there's just a lot of ways you can run this. One version I tried doing, which didn't make it onto the cut because I couldn't showcase it, was you could run a more Death Wish oriented deck and add maybe the Sheetroll of Vergen, but then you'd be running Carapace instead of Death Shadow. That way you'd have a means of protecting the Sheetroll of Vergen. Now, of course, if you're taking on status Nilfgaard, this is completely obsolete, but, you know, that is definitely an option. I even thought about adding in 2 Neckers along with the 2 Endriga Larva, because it does add the Thrive aspect. Not to mention, you spawn more units, which is more units for Morentart to eat. But you know what? You know, like, there's just a time where you can get greedy, but there's also a time where you might need to step back a little bit, because you don't want to revolve your entire deck around one card. So we're gonna go through the list. I'm just gonna sort of let you guys know the cards that I don't often put in decks, and why they're in this one. So one of the big ones is definitely Haunt. Haunt lets you spawn 3 units. So it's 3 units for the price of 1, provided that it doesn't get destroyed by a Bomb Heaver. Eathern, Roach is here for deck fit. Roach and Knickers are here. Now, this is something that you definitely don't always want to see. It's like a 19 provisions for 6 points of power. Not the strongest, to be honest, but it does help with deck fit a lot. It does help with you maximizing the potential of this deck. So I'm running it. You don't have to run it. Definitely not. There are definitely... Like, if you're planning to try and running a Mourntart style deck into meta, I would not recommend this deck list specifically. I would probably make some changes to it, and probably not have as greedy of a Mourntart. because, you know, I can make it really greedy to the point where it can double, it can more than double Osrill's points. So I'm just deciding to do this for the shits and giggles. Next we got Naglfar. Honestly, if you get Roach and Knickers out before you play Naglfar, there's really no consequence as to what comes out from it. Of course, you do have some cards that do need some combos, so Pugo, Boombreaker, and Penitent. You definitely do not want Pugo to come out. Honestly, if you want to get a little bit freaky with this combo, you can put in the Fiend. Sorry, not the Fiend. The Beast. You can put in the Beast. You can play Penitent. You can play Death Shadow on the Penitent. Bring out the Beast. Eat the Penitent with something else. Have Pugo come up. That's also a possibility. Really depends on what kind of playstyle you're looking for here. Monsters is slowly climbing up the ranks. As to like my favorite faction. Skalga will still be my favorite faction, even though it's gotten quite a bit of love, but you know, still not a lot of love. But yeah. The Cave Troll is here in case that the Petri's Filter is unavailable for me and I need to play Mourntart. I can have a Defender, a Cave Troll, to be able to protect my Mourntart, because without Petri's Filter, it has to be played second to last. So, yeah. That's what pretty much Cave Troll is there for. It could also be there to protect your artifact in case you are trying to put this into meta and you'll be coming across some artifact destroyers. Then it's a good idea to have a Cave Troll in there as well. Plus, it just triggers Thrive. I am adding Thrive in here because I do need some sort of engine, not just Death Wish. So, yeah. Mata, pretty straightforward, drawing the scenario. Knickers, similar situation with Roach, thinning the deck out as much as possible and powering up that Mourntart. Morentart, of course, here is the MVP of the entire deck. Hold on a second. Music kind of went down here. She will play some good old. Yeah, I like this. I miss the old Gwent music. Yeah, so Morentart's sort of the MVP of the deck. Well, the core card of the deck. The main player of the deck, you would say. It does sound like something you'd eat for dessert, but obviously looking at it, you do not want to eat that thing. It looks disgusting. But yeah, this thing is what's gonna rack up so many points for you in the third round. You can tell the play I was trying to do with this is try and get into a very short third round situation as possible. I think there was one of the games, the first game I think, where I could have won 2-0, but I didn't want to risk it. So in the off chance that he had artifact or that he had removal, so I didn't want to risk it. So, you know, it's just safer to go into a short third round and knowing that they don't have any more damage removal options. Because honestly, like for the third round, the usual mentality is you want to rack up as many points as possible. It's not really like if they would play engines. So Morentart is there to sort of be the cleanup. He's the cleanup crew. He is the core player. He also sounds like food, but obviously you don't want to eat it. Goliath, definitely is a good idea to run Goliath because of that very high power for a low provision cost. It is also a Death Wish card, which does trigger scenario as well, which is pretty nice. Of course, if you want it to be destroyed, if your opponent destroys it for you, and they summon their highest unit from the deck, actually that's not a bad thing either, because that's also a bit of deck disruption. I know that people are usually afraid to have Goliath be destroyed, but sometimes it's not a bad idea, especially with the situation you sometimes find yourself in, is if they have a really strong card that they might find that they are going to draw for the third round, you can have Goliath bring it out for them, and they won't be able to play it in the third round. So, you know, monsters can have a bit of that deck disruption, which could be pretty nice. Next is Pugo and Penitent, which is that combo. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you could go crazy and play Death Shadow on the Beast. Sorry, on Penitent to bring out the Beast and Pugo. So that is an option as well. Petri's Filter is sort of the card that lets me play Morentart last. Now, of course, the problem is Petri's Filter is actually a very slow card. It does not give you much of anything. So if you guys are feeling a little bit risky and if you want to bring it to meta, I wouldn't suggest putting in Petri's Filter. If anything, I would actually just play Morentart second to last and hope that he doesn't have any sorts of damage removal. Any sort of damage cards. Because if he does, then your Morentart is going to be absolutely useless. So that's something you do want to be careful of as well. If you're taking on Skellige decks and you come across, and honestly, if you play any Skellige decks, you're just gonna know, or you just have to assume that Wild Boar of the Sea is just gonna show up every single time. So, you know, instead of maybe playing Petri's Filter, maybe bring in a card that lets you boost. a unit, if there is any around here that does that, because it is monsters. No, not much. I mean, unless you want to bring in a Wyvern Scale Shield, that's a possibility. If you want to bring in, yeah, I guess any of the neutral boosting cards like Hideous Feast, a Bahakam Ale, but honestly, like, it has to be done sort of while it's on the field. So you kind of need a boost engine to sort of make that work the best. Like, these cards that let you boost, probably not the greatest idea, but hey, it really depends. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Carapace. What am I talking about? Carapace is a card that boosts. So definitely, if you want to put this in a meta situation, run Mourntart with Carapace. Definitely would be able to work. Of course, unless you're taking on status Nilfgaard, in which case, nothing. No point. Anyway, moving on. Next, we got the Cyclops. The Cyclops is decent for some removal, plus to trigger some Death Wishes if necessary. Wild Hunt Rider is a good first turn card to play. Good 6 power card, not to mention it's a deck thin, which is pretty nice. So if you do end up going first, you can gain some decent tempo, not to mention thinning out your deck a little bit with the Wild Hunt Rider. Next, we got the 2 Harpy Eggs, which again is, I find this to be like the strongest Death Wish bronze card. Just because of the ability to summon the Harpy, so it could potentially be an 8 for 5 if you consume it. I added in 2 Indriga Larva for 2 reasons. One, for the Thrive ability, so I can keep some pressure on my opponent while we play out the second round, because you want the second round to be a long one. But the second reason is also because it spawns a copy of itself, which is an extra unit for Morentart. So yeah, and the last 3 cards are sort of the basic Indriga Warrior, Foglet, Night Wraith. You'll see them in Death Wish decks. But yeah, so this is a pretty interesting card. It's definitely a card that you can definitely play around with as well, like try out in different situations. Like I said, Carapace. Carapace might be a better ability if you want to take this to pro rank. Maybe I'll play this in pro rank or in ladder, and then I'll show you guys how it's done in ladder, or how to potentially play this deck in ladder. But yeah, this is sort of the fun version, the greedier version. So yeah, other than that, I'll send you guys over to the gameplay. Ooh, we're taking on Nilfgaard. Okay, this will be interesting. This will be interesting. Artifact Destroyer is going to be a thing. Or not even Artifact Destroyer, but like Yennefer's Invo is a thing, I should say. We don't need them both. Ooh, actually having this out here early is pretty nice. Yeah, so this will be interesting. Because Nilfgaard is really good at, you know, being able to destroy hands and decks, so we'll see what happens. So the idea is we want to be able to play as many units as we can until, you know, we gave Mourntart enough power. I've added in the Sheet Troll of... I've included the Sheet Troll of Vergen in the deck because this is working with Death Wish and Destroy. However, if she is not out along with the Haunt, like kind of what's happening right now, then it's not going to be that useful. Biting Frost here is fine. But you just had to go up there, didn't you? Okay, that's fine. Oh, I just realized Knickers is also in my hand. Oh, that might be a problem, actually. If he Tourney Jousts, it's fine. I mean, we have other means of getting out our Death Wish units anyway. Yeah, a lock is fine. As long as you don't destroy our artifact, we shouldn't have too much of a problem. I really want the Sheet Troll of Vergen to come out, but maybe we'll hold off on that for now. We'll actually play our Foglet here. We'll trigger our Barghest and get him out. Like I said, right? Like, we want to be able to clear out a deck as clear out our deck as much as possible. Eagern's still in the deck, so that might be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I actually didn't even realize I had a couple of brick cards in my hand. I should have kept a close eye on it. We could even play a combo where we actually play Penitent and then we actually use the Death Shadow on it so we can get out one of the 7 creatures and another one. I think that actually might make it a bit more powerful because we can add the Beast. Actually, we should actually include the Beast. Actually, we can actually get rid of the She-Troll and put in the Beast. Oh. Oh, hello? This is interesting. That's a very early pass. So, we actually have control of the second round. Like, we can kind of go crazy with our second round here. Okay, Penitent here is actually really good for us. Petrie's Filter with the Mourntart, which is also really good. And Indraga Larva. Okay, we might actually start with the Indraga Larva here. Again, right, like, the idea is he kind of put us in a very favorable situation where we can just pretty much go crazy here. Now, if he's running Mill, then we might have a bit of a problem, but... I guess he decided not to keep playing, huh? A Rot Tosser? That's fine. I mean, he is gonna end up getting one of our Indraga Larva, but... The problem is I don't really want him poisoning both of our, like, more than one Thrive unit, so I'm actually thinking of just playing the Night Wraith here. I mean, this will get poisoned, but honestly, that's fine. I'd rather have him poison something that can trigger. What I could even do is actually I could even Death Wish this if he doesn't destroy my Indraga Larva yet. But we'll see what he does. Okay, so he does opt to poison it, which is honestly, it's fine. Now, if he does decide to poison this, then maybe I'll actually trigger Death Shadow just to get that extra Indraga Larva and just annoy him even more. We could actually even oh no, we can't Death Shadow neutral unit. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that happening, to be honest. I mean, he's not even ahead by that much, and he's kind of doing what I want him to do, which is to destroy my units. Kind of makes my work easier for me, so... Like, yeah, it did seem like it does look like I invested quite a bit, but honestly, I didn't invest that much, if you think about it. That's fine. Like, this is the thing where, like, you can get away with either playing Death Shadow or Carapace, depending on what deck you're running. Like, if you're running, like, something with the She-Troll of Vergen, then you definitely wouldn't be a bad idea to run Carapace, because you do want to be able to protect her. Now, of course, if you're taking on status Nilfgaard, that's not even going to be an option, because Vincent's just going to ruin your life. But, you know, it really depends on how you decide to make this list. There are really, I think there's just a lot of ways to play Morentart, but I think just a general idea is if you can get as many of your units to the graveyard as possible, then I think you'll be fine. That's sort of the idea. Because right now, worst case scenario is we get last say, so we either get last say or we get one up. So it really doesn't matter to me what he's doing here. Like, I can go insane, honestly, and it's not gonna affect me too much. Like, right now, I'm just casually playing these cards for no particular order, when I should be trying to maximize points. Honestly, though, it's like, I don't know, I don't even think about that when I really should be thinking about it. He could be rocking Bribery, could be rocking Assassinate, Royal Decree, Tourney Joust. Okay, fine. He can bring out by Pugo for me, actually. Oh, he activates... So he opts to activate Stefan Skellen for a tourney joust? Really? Cause right now I can bring him down one card if I wanted to. Cause this just puts me in a bigger lead. Yeah, I was gonna say you might as well play all your abilities, buddy. I might as well just do this. Now he's really gonna have something to worry about here. Next turn I am gonna play Naglfar just because I do need to thin my deck out a little bit. Knickers has yet to come out, which does kind of suck. But that's fine. As long as either Eghern or Mata or the Cave Troll comes out. I mean, I don't care who comes out for Naglfar. The idea is to be able to thin my deck as much as possible. That was a very underwhelming Stefan. Is this bribery? Is this what he should have used Stefan for? Ah, interesting. A Redea. Alright. Cool. So this Cave Troll is here. I don't exactly want the She Troll out here anymore. The Cave Troll will get us some points though. But if I think the Cave Troll might be better for the third round for me. Ah, perfect. Now we got Knickers. Okay, so I think we're actually set for the third round. I actually think we're set for the third round here. We're actually gonna get quite the amount of points from all these cards, so actually this will be a very massive Mourntart. Alright. I mean, I guess I could have Morentarted now, because I think I would have gotten a lot of power from it, but I don't know. I actually would rather get last save from this. Now, if he has Damien, then we'll have another problem to deal with, unfortunately. That's if he has Damien. But we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, because we're not exactly out of the loop yet. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I mean, he did play quite a few of his strong cards. So, but I mean, this is a Redea, so that did tell us a bit. He actually opted to get rid of my She Troll, which, okay, because it's... Makes me wonder if he even had Damien in his hand to begin with. Alright. I see what his other cards are. I think it really depends on what these other cards are. But I mean, his hand is very expensive and his provision bonus is only 15. We got a 10, a 9, a 9, a 10, a 12. Yeah, so it's like... But I mean, this is 20 points, isn't it? This Morntart's 20... Oh, morale's hurt. That's a hurt. Yeah, morale will hurt. Big time. Unfortunately, I can't do anything to stop that. Yeah, that's tough. And he also has a bribery. Wonder what he gets from it. So he knows I have a Mourntart. He knows I have a Mourntart. I have to hope this works. If his last card better not be Artifact Destroyer. Actually, I don't even know if it's gonna work anymore because he's gonna be so far ahead in power now. Because his Mourntart's gonna be pretty big too. Wait, do I win this? That is the power of Mourntart, ladies and gentlemen. That is the power of a card that sounds like it's a dessert I would have for dinner. Okay, so we're taking on Syndicate. Okay, this will be interesting. Because if they have cards like Morels, which can do some big damage to us. I think a hand like this is okay, to be honest. Honestly, I'm confident in being able to draw. I'm actually confident in my drawing ability that I don't need Mourntart out here this early, and we can just focus on our first round pretty well here. I guess Ekern should have came out first, huh? I mean, he can use his leader ability and just get rid of my Ekern, and it's a 13-point card, 13-point hero power, which is pretty nice for him, I suppose. A coerced blacksmith. Okay, so this is I'm tempted to destroy one of these, but I haven't the means to do it. We could play in the Night Wraith here. Yeah, we'll play Night Wraith, actually. We could even potentially destroy it with our Cyclops. This version is running the Cyclops because... Oh, boy. It's gonna be a lot of coins to get in for that one. I guess that Graydon's coming, huh? Let's actually defend it. Ooh, you got Hammond in this deck. I'm actually tempted to just eat this, honestly. We'll just, you know what, we'll just eat it. Let's see. Let's see. I wonder if he's tempted. I wonder if he's even thinking about it. Ekern is an insect. Ah, there's Snickers. Perfect. I mean... So, we lose 17 points, we'll be at 29. We'll still have a very massive lead over him. We could even potentially kill this Moral with the Cyclops, actually. I mean, he's probably gonna have like a wild hunt, or a dire hunt. I don't know the name of that thing. Mutated hound, I think. But you know what? Forget it. We'll still destroy him anyway. We'll still be ahead even with this poison. So, because we'll be down to 29, which honestly isn't so bad. Ewald Bersodi, okay, that's fine. I mean, we're still gonna be pretty far ahead in power, but. Whoa, okay, let's relax there, buddy. We could Naglfar here, see what we get. I'm just afraid that if the combination is one of either Haunt, Mourntart, or Pugo, we're gonna be in some trouble here. So I don't know if that's worth playing right now. But at the same time, I also can't really let this go into a long round 3, if that makes sense. We are ahead by 13, so actually I can opt to pass. But I also need to thin my deck out as much as possible, so we will not go far. Okay, so we did draw Matao, which is actually perfect here for us. So I don't mind if he just gets rid of the Indrega Warrior. It's of no value to me anymore. Okay, so he does opt to pass. Okay, cool. So we are going to play this second round out. We do have Haunt, so we can have some fun with that. Again, I can't afford to go into a long third round because, again, I am trying to set up Mourntart. Now I just need to be able to draw it. Suddenly, I'm not liking my chances. Suddenly, I'm not liking my chances over here. I need Petri's Filter and Mourntart. That's the thing. Slash Seductress? That's fine. That is okay for us, actually. I mean, I wonder if you're rocking Passiflora. You could be. He's gonna be getting a lot of power every turn. Okay, so we're still pretty far ahead here. He could play... I mean, again, the idea is I want him to play as many of his strong cards as possible so I can start... So I need to be able to draw these two together, and I have no more means of drawing, so I don't know. So he opts to destroy. Okay, cool. So at least he's used up his leader ability, which is good for me. Sure, why not? I mean, again, I want to build up my graveyard as much as possible here. I mean, at this point, I don't think it's likely that I'm going to get last say, but... You know, I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, that's fine. I guess he's looking for that poison. One of his other cards might actually be a Fist Tech. That's fair. Okay, cool. I think he's definitely got this one. I mean, I did get a lot of my units out, so hopefully this Morentart's gonna be strong enough. But I don't know. We'll see. He does get last say, and he does start a card up, so it could also be potentially problematic. Okay, perfect. This needed to be Mourntart. Okay, so this is possibly the best hand we could have. I have to hope that it's enough. Oh, he has Louisa and Savola yet still, doesn't he? Maybe it won't be enough. Yeah, maybe Louisa and Savola will not be enough for this combo. How many provisions do you get? 16? Okay, yeah, it probably won't be enough, to be honest. Blind Eyes? Yeah, I think that's it for me. I don't think I have a chance here. I mean, if that's Muriel's, then I definitely don't have a chance here, but if it's Savola, maybe. No, not even with Savola, it won't be enough. Not even with Savola, it won't be enough. Yeah. I mean, hey, we didn't lose by that much, but you know what? That's, you know, that's exactly the reason why I don't play these kinds of decks in Pro Ladder, just because, you know, you can see what kind of decks I like to play around here. But anyway, that's going to be the showcasing for the Mourntart Monsters deck. Let me know what you guys' thoughts of it are. I think this is a card that you can honestly play different kinds of combinations with. Honestly, as long as... And I think it actually fits really well with the way Monsters works. So... Honestly, if you even want to get brave, you don't even need to have Petri's Filter on and just, you know, hope that Morentart doesn't get destroyed. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you guys did, and of course, comment on any changes you guys like to make, and of course, subscribe for more Gwent content. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out. I'll catch you guys in the next one.